Hi everyone, straight to the point this time. So it turns out that formatting your drive to APFS helps a bit after all, with transfer speeds. Well, sort of helps. During my previous tests, I got very inconsistent results. Apparently, APFS formatted pen drive I used was not up to the task at all. So I decided to repeat the test with other devices, and since I got nothing else to do, I formatted a few drives and cards to APFS, just for fun, as they would be unusable with cameras and other devices once formatted to APFS. Well, obviously other than iPads and Macs. Does it work? I'd call it a semi-fix for now. Why? Well, take a look. So I'm on the 15-inch 2015 MacBook Pro. I have a 2TB LASI drive with a Seagate inside. It's connected via USB 3 Type A to Type C adapter, so we can use the exact same cable later with an iPad without dongles. By the way, the iPhone with a stopwatch app is just there as a reference for fast forwarding. I'll be counting the frames to check the times. Here are the results. The 500 megs file took 4 seconds to copy, which gives 125 megabytes a second. The 4 gig video took 30 seconds to copy, which gives 132 megabytes a second. And a folder full of JPEGs, that is 3.46 gigabytes in size, took 43 seconds, which translates to about 80 megabytes a second write speed to the hard drive. Not bad for a bunch of small JPEGs. And now to the iPad. And here's the familiar progress bar bag. And we're done! So the 500 megabyte file took 12 seconds to copy, which gives about 42 megabytes a second. And now for the 4 gig video, let's fast forward a bit. And it gives 67 seconds, which translates to about 59 megabytes a second. That is less than half of what we got with the MacBook. But now, behold, a folder full of JPEGs, with a total of almost 3.5 gigabyte, 3.46 to be precise. I'll spare you the wait, and spoiler alert, copying that many JPEGs took almost 7 minutes, which translates to about 8 megabytes a second. Let's just keep the transfer going in fast forward mode, and I'll show you the whole process for the Sony SD while we're at it. In the meantime, let's discuss the results. So for the Sony SD we got the following. Okay, you might argue that no one in the right mind uses flash media as serious backup solutions, right? What about hard drives then? As we've seen, they're not great, but they're not terrible either. Unless you need to copy a lot of JPEGs, then they're terrible. But who on earth would want to copy a lot of JPEGs? Luckily, a few people reported decent results with dedicated external SSDs, and once I get my hands on one of these, I intend to test it as well. What I have tested though is a Samsung 850 EVO connected to a powered USB hub, but that's hardly a mobile solution. Anyways, I'll include the results in a chart at the end of the video. All in all, this seems like a step in the right direction, but practically you're still limited to dedicated external SSDs and APFS, which may entail additional costs in both hardware and software, especially if you plan to use other operating systems in your workflow. Oh, did I mention I got a few random errors along the way? Like this! Right now you're also giving up on the universality and flexibility of small flash media like CF and SD cards, as these usually have to be formatted to exFAT to work with cameras, recorders and other devices. For many professionals, all this limited compatibility nonsense and the inconsistent performance may be a deal breaker. Ultimately, I encourage you to thoroughly test the mobile backup workflow before working on anything important, especially if you plan to use it with iPads.